Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 36th episode of Speaking of Stadia. I am, of course, one of your hosts, Aaron Cini, and as with me always is my favorite John Krasinski on the internet, the bearded beauty himself, Mr. Too Tall Porter Jacob. Jake, how are you?
I am doing great. Just glad to be back. It's been a minute between people getting friends needing to get saved from accidents, or people being sick, or just my friend deciding, hey, I can't skip my D&D on Monday because I bailed on them multiple times. I gotta bail. I make you bail on your podcast. I'm still glad to be back, honestly.
All the way down to us just not being able to get into StreamYard.
The last week, StreamYard, I guess Dan has the login, and he's a sleepy boy at 2 a.m. when we start, or 1:30. But I don't blame him. So we like, oh wait, we're locked out and that was that.
Because it's hard to chat people at 1 a.m. and expect a quick response.
Dan, we get back to us until I woke up in the morning.
Yeah. And rounding out the tremendous trio, my favorite part of the three of us, she puts the Nova in Nova Scotia, Fiona.
Hello, everybody. Hi. How are you doing?
Oh, man. I'm here. I'm excited. We have people in the chat that are already hanging out. Victor, hello. Good to see you. Rouster at the gym, but ready to go. Also, I'd just like to point out that he posted that comment 30 minutes early. Thanks for being here.
He's ready. He's always ready for us.
Oh, well, let's kick it off with Mr. Porter. I see you pouring a delicious beer there. What are we drinking tonight, man?
It's actually a beer. Also, Aaron's gonna be coming out East Coast in like this month, so pretty pumped. There's actually a brewery we can go to because they're like 10 minutes from Secret Stash.
Yes.
I'm drinking St. Kitts coffee. It's a Imperial Cream Ale. It's 12%. You don't taste it at all, which is very dangerous.
12%?
12% cream ale with aged in coffee, coconuts, and rum barrels. So pretty exciting.
Ooh.
Never had this one before. So.
Let me see the color of that, because that sounds like a stout, but it's not.
No, it's a cream ale. It's just a really sugary.
Oh, that's really pretty.
Yes,
that looks delicious.
Yeah,
I am drinking this peach creamy in oat cream. Here, hold on. I'm gonna get it. Come on, focus. You can do it. Oat cream IPA made with oat milk. It's brewed with peaches, vanilla, and oat milk, and I'm very excited. I've been waiting this entire time to have my first drink of it, so I have no idea what this is going to taste like.
Yeah, that was my first taste of it too. It's actually really, really good. And let me guess, what flavor of bubbly do we have tonight, Fiona?
Ooh, that's unbelievable.
What
flavor of bubbly are we having?
Pamplemousse.
Yeah,
nice pamplemousse. Good grape. No, not grapefruit. That's no, pamplemousse is grapefruit.
It is grapefruit. Yeah. Yep. I was just gonna wait until you.
No, I was thinking. No. I was gonna say pomegranate. I'm like, no, that doesn't. That's pomme de terre. The pomme de terre is actually potatoes.
Yeah.
And like palm is apple of the earth. Yeah. Sorry, it took 3 years. Potato. I took 3 years of French in high school, and I went to Canada, Quebec City, and France. So. Je parle un peu français. Okay, anyhow.
I think you said I speak a little French.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I understand French enough to know that sentence. Awesome. Well, if you didn't know, like I said, this is the 36th episode of Speaking of Stadia, your show where you can come for all your Stadia news, commentary, and sometimes just a little bit of bitching. It's fine. Let's start off the show with what we always kick it off with, and that's what have you been playing? Fiona, let's start with you. What have you been playing lately?
That is a great question. Well, I'm going to hold off on some of them because they're actually related to something we're about to just talk about. Because I've been trying to actively play the games of the month from Stadia. So I've been playing a lot of that recently. But no, I have been playing Final Fantasy 14.
What?
A Realm Reborn,
yeah. Specifically a Realm Reborn. Nothing.
I like to always say Realm Reborn. Even though I know there's 30 million expansions beyond that.
Oh my goodness. No, I've been playing that, some tabletop simulator, and just trying to at least look at some of the games that I currently have in my my Steam and my other lists of free games or games that I own. So I've been just trying to get through that for the most part. And also learning how to actually animate and create games. So I've been doing game jams. I know. I did 2 game jams this year, so I've been doing that. Whoa, crazy.
What?
And we can't even hear Jake. Jake's
No,
so
Jake-
excited.
I know. I muted myself because my wife is singing in content music to my daughter to go before she goes to bed. So it's very loud and right in this room, like right here. So that's I have myself muted. No, I'd say a buddy of mine, Maddie. He's made a few games. He does a lot of game jams as well. So
Nice.
They're really fun.
Yeah. Oh, and I've been playing XCOM 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a game that I really enjoyed, and then I got at this point it's like since we were live streaming the last time, I've been playing some XCOM 2, and I've even gotten a few other people to play. Unfortunately, the multiplayer is dying this month. Rest in peace. But yeah,
that's surprising because it's. I mean, I'm sure there'll be a mod community will create something.
No, it was it's been live for 6 years, and they've decided that March of 2022 they're going to kill the multiplayer.
That means there's got to be a new one coming out soon because that's such a popular series.
Yeah.
Don't they have other smaller games that come out beyond?
Yes, they have the Chimera Squad, which was released in 2019 2020.
Recently.
I still haven't played that one, but I own it. I own the series, but no, I'm excited to get back into it. But yeah, no, for the most part it's been playing a number of Stadia games, so I'm gonna hold off until we get to those particular sections to talk about my thoughts on them.
Love it. Mr. Porter, what have you been playing, man?
A lot of not. I really want to sit down with a game and play it, but there's so much choice in this world. It's tough. I still play Young Souls, slowly going through that. I just haven't finished that game because I can't stay focused on it for too long. I wanted to try one of the new games from this month. I wanted to try Dawn of Monsters, but I didn't have any. I worked till 1 a.m. last night, so that didn't happen. Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, I know. I'm very tired right now. But anyway, but then I also played Merrick's Market, which was for about an hour or so. It was pretty good. It was not bad. It's what I expected it to be. Kind of like I didn't really ramp up too much. It's kind of, I think, almost too simple in the beginning, but I hope it gets more difficult as it goes. I've been playing Ruined King still. I got back. Actually, I tried that again with GeForce Now on my TV downstairs, which is having a lot of issues on. It's actually running better. Being an RPG, it's a little more forgivable. Because I'm like that. Unless they're trying to get the advantage on encounters, it's not a big deal. What else have I been playing? And Death's Door on X Cloud. So I've been kind of dabbling in all the cloud stuff lately. Getting that, just kind of playing all that stuff. So yeah, Death's Door is really fun. I'm really enjoying that game. So
nice. Here's a shocking turn of events. Neither one of you mentioned a board game, and I've been playing board games recently.
Oh, I've played board games a bunch, but
I know, but you guys always talk about them. This time you didn't, and now here I am.
I just bought this. I literally was playing it's actually my turn in the game of on BGA of Parks right now. So I take my turn right now actively. So I'm playing Parks and Imhotep on BGA a bit.
Yeah, and I invited you guys to play Ark Nova at some point.
Yes, we need to do that.
A board game that I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with currently.
Yeah, and then afterwards I can teach you guys Arnak. So
nice.
That's what I really want to play. I want to play the expansion for it too, because I actually talked to a buddy about trying to get a insert 3D printed because the game didn't come with an insert, and it's painful to unbox and open, and as an expansion that can fit in the box too. So yeah,
nice. I played the Alien board game and it was a lot of fun. Co-op, you can play it solo.
And you just bought
the Horizon game, which I'm very excited to check out. The miniatures are awesome. The instruction manual of that thing is a book. It's thick. Yeah. I'm excited. Speaking of Horizon, that's the other thing I have been playing so much. Forbidden West is stunning. I cannot believe how beautiful that game is. And I absolutely adored the first Horizon. Thought it was a blast. Thought it was a great character. Love that world. And I'm so pumped to be back into it. It's unbelievable. And the cutscenes, I have never ever seen a studio put this much love into every NPC. Like, I don't care if they're giving you a one-off side quest. That character looks great, has an incredible voice actor behind it, is fully fleshed out, and the story is usually really gripping. Like, I can't sing the praises of that game enough. I've also played some Elden Ring, but I am bad at Souls games.
Valid.
Yeah, not good at them.
Yeah,
Not good
no,
at 'em.
I watched Harv play because he played it after the podcast on Friday, and he spent 2 hours in underwear. He didn't have any, like, he specifically
Oh,
chose
he
not
died.
to
He just
go-
died and just like lost all his stuff.
Well, he
or
chose not to like go with a specific class, I think, which
like a
the
rogue or
thing-
something like this.
Yeah, he went with some sort of like nomad kind of person, and so he just started off with like a bat and underwear, and he was running around.
Oh,
And I
but he
went,
could be rolling all over the place. He's like,
yeah, so he was rolling all over the place. I went, made dinner for like an hour, came back still completely naked, and then he's like hiding in a bush, and I'm like, "How is that going for you?" And he's like, "It's going great. Let watch. I'm about to like go up towards someone."
I'm having fun. Trust me.
Yeah,
Don't-
he said he was having fun, but then like there was an NPC that was like, obviously everyone wants to kill you, was walking away from him. He walks up like 2 inches, and the guy's just like, he turns around and then attacks him, and I'm like, that, wow, the stealth, the skill, the drive. I'm like, what? I don't know. I agree. I'm not a good. I'm Souls games are not my jam. I have to play Bloodborne at some point, but
yeah,
no.
same. No,
Bloodborne.
I'm the same.
Bloodborne
I've
is the
never-
first Souls game that I got really, really into. I didn't
this-
end up beating it, but like I actually got through a couple of bosses. I unlocked new areas. Absolutely loved Bloodborne and Sekiro, or Sekiro, however you want to say
Sekiro,
it.
yeah.
But
tomato.
yeah, Elden Ring though, I don't know, it's beating the crap out of me.
Yeah, I mean, I want to play Bloodborne because that's probably arguably, like, I guess prior to Elden Ring, the most accessible one. A lot of people say Elden Ring is more accessible, but from what I've heard, that's not really true. From like Tam, really, I was listening to he was on Giant Bomb this morning or yesterday's episode, and he was talking about, like, people are saying it's more accessible and getting frustrated that it's really difficult. It's like, no, the game's more modernized, but it's not. I want to say it's more. He's like, and it feels like it's more accessible because you can go, like, if you hit a wall, you can go somewhere else, but it also doesn't tell you what to do at all.
Right.
So you're kind of like, you can miss stuff very easily. So it's like,
That's
unless you're like looking at stuff.
probably been my biggest thing is like, yes, the open world is awesome, but not understanding even a little bit about what I should be doing, which is what a lot of people are praising it for, and that's totally
Yeah,
cool.
which is
Yeah.
like there's a thing in the beginning where you get the summons, I guess. And I was listening to the guys that used to be on Giant Bomb, Nextlander, and they were saying like, yeah, I like went to this spot like multiple times. I never saw it. Someone's like, oh yeah, if you go back there, you get your summons. I'm like, wait, I was there like multiple times. You had to be there at night for this one person to show up, and they give you the summon. And, like, they're in the beginning of the game, but you're never there at the beginning of the game at night. They drop you there in the day.
I
So it's like,
just, you know, I got completely lucky on that. Like,
yeah,
I went left and did one dungeon and fought a mini boss. And then I was like, well, I don't really know what's over here, so I'm going to go this way. And then I went right and found a fire pit, and I clicked it, and it started the cutscene. And then she was like, here's your mount. I was like, oh, I'm really glad I came over here.
exactly. Like, so it's happen chance. Like
Yeah.
you could go by the whole game missing like a major like feature. Like the one guy's like, I had, well, by the time I met that person, I had 5 summons already.
Ooh.
Like that's kind of crazy. So
Hi, Jamie. Thanks for joining us. And Rouser, talking about that naked character that you were saying. The naked character starts at level 1 while others are at 9 and 10. But apparently it's more flexible character through customization.
so you
Which-
can more branch
fair.
path because you can't.
Yeah.
I guess you can't respec in the game. Is my guess.
I'm a big, huge nerd, and I have 2 games going on Elden Ring, actually. One of like what was supposed to be like the best starting character that me and the kid will just pass the controller because he dies so much. So we're like, yeah, we'll just mess around.
Whatever.
And then I
Yeah.
have I recreated my D&D character, which is a rogue. And so I'm trying a little stealthy dark elf and see what happens.
Aaron, random question, because I know you played before. Have you played any Destiny 2 Witch Queen?
I've not played Witch Queen yet. I saw
Then you were playing with Travail a lot.
yeah, and I love me Destiny 2. I haven't jumped into the Witch Queen yet. hyperbolic or not, I saw somebody say it's like one of the funnest FPS campaigns since like Titanfall 2. So I definitely want to jump in. I will be playing that one on Stadia, especially because, grab your phone and just have the little controller clip. So I'm excited to check that out.
Yeah. Okay. I know you're the one of the three of us that plays it regularly.
Yeah.
I like Destiny 1. I just never got to Destiny 2.
It was just one of the timing things. February was bonkers for games. Like I also played Sifu.
Like to the point where I forgot. Like I was listening to podcast. Like apparently, Gran Turismo 7 is coming out like this month.
Yeah, like Friday.
I had no idea.
Dropped today. It's too much. Sifu was also really fun. Pretty dang punishing. I feel like they should have scaled it maybe a little bit better. Like the second boss took me forever to get through.
The game is really meant to like you to go back and backtrack a ton.
Yes. So I got through the first level of only dying once, and that was the only way that I got through the second level at all. And the first time I beat the second level of the boss, the first time I got through it, I was at my max age. And I had a sliver of health left.
Wow.
And I thought he killed me. And I happened to get the final hit on him. And it triggered the cutscene. And so then I had to go back through and do it anyways. Because now, if you're that old, now in level 3, you start at that age. And so if you died once.
But now you have a new ability for beating him, right? So now it's a little easier. Isn't that how it works? Like you get new abilities for beating the bosses?
Yes, you can upgrade and like get a little bit stronger and a little bit better. So then I went back through and I beat him at like 61. Which gives me like 2 lives in the next level. But yeah. We are so good at talking about what we've been playing. But let's jump into the news. We have a whole lot, including a whole new segment called Stadia Sprint, where we have all sorts of stories to cover. So let's get after it.
Wow.
It's March 2nd. You know what that means. We got some new pro games to talk about, which is always exciting. This month, if you are subscribed to Stadia Pro, you have Adam Wolf, Dawn of the... I should have just...
Dawn of Monsters.
Thank you.
There you go.
Race with Ryan Road Trip Deluxe Edition, Darkwood, and Darksiders Genesis.
Play Darksiders.
I have never gotten super into a Darksiders.
Darksiders Genesis. That was like the first game I bought on Stadia. It's a great game. It's a twin stick shooter, not a Diablo style game. It's not a dungeon crawl, but it's a very, very fun twin stick shooter with like some RPG elements, but it's not like a full on RPG. And
you just saved me from looking like an idiot because I was gonna be like, Darksiders, that's the one that's like Diablo, right? And then you're like, not Diablo.
No, a lot of people thought it was gonna be Diablo, and we were let down because it wasn't. But it's still a very fun game. I like the writing was pretty fun overall. It was a good enough story. That made me want to go actually try because we have the other Darksiders games on. Actually, some of our with Plus, I believe at least 3 is. So I always want a Plus Pro. But I want to go try those as well. I heard one was a kind of a very good like Zelda-like.
What about you, Fiona? Any of these games really speaking out to you? What about Darkwood?
No,
Darkwood was a no. I think we watched that like a clip of that on this episode, and Fiona.
That's the one that I did. We have a GIF of, right?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's.
Yes.
Yeah,
Aaron.
of Aaron, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
the rats.
Yeah, I don't remember which one. Like, I think that's a different one that's supposed to come out later on.
Oh, okay.
But Darkwood is this is not a game that I'm going to probably hop into. Mind you, I may just to say that I have tried it because I would like to like start branching out and trying different types of games that I might not have previously, especially with the fact that they're free. Why not?
Isn't you love the horror games, no?
I mean, sure.
You played that game called The Dying Lights. Not Dying Light. Why am I blanking so hard on this?
Until Dawn?
Yeah, nope.
I played Resident Evil 7.
Nope, it's your favorite
Resident Evil 14?
Game. Nope, online. Pick the
Resident Evil 14?
Oh, Dead by Daylight. Oh, Dead by
Daylight.
Okay, Dead by Daylight's a little bit different than something like Darkwood.
Yeah. No, it's like I've said I'm not a horror fan, but it's actually I played Dead by Daylight too. It's a fun game.
Yeah.
It definitely has that suspense feel, but it's not like as gruesome or like it's like a jump scary too much. It's kind of just like that tenseness of like you're trying to do something and like you hear the heartbeat and.
Mind you, like Darkwood is a top-down type of game, so I might try it out because it does seem to have those types of elements.
Okay, they did have it confused with a different game. You're right.
Yeah, but the one I actually have been playing throughout the day today is Adam Wolf, which is a supernatural mystery detective game.
So like Alan Wake-ish.
Or
Control-ish.
A little bit. So you play as Adam Wolf. It is kind of like one of those like puzzle type of point and click adventure games.
Okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, definitely Alan Wake.
Yeah, but it's creepy. Mind you, a lot of conversations are held at gunpoint. And people are trying to kill you at every turn. And they're actually jump scares for a point and click adventure, which is not something that I was signing up for, but here I am.
Are you streaming this or are you just playing this?
Oh, I'm just playing this. I've been playing
because I feel like you should have been streaming this now.
I feel like here's the thing. There are other specific point and clicks that I'm probably going to hop in and try, and I'll probably do a review of this afterwards. But no, I'm halfway through the game currently because there's 4 different story lines. And so, yeah, I've gone through 2 of them. It's not a very long game.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
But no, it's really interesting. It has like if for people who are familiar with like the point and click type of games, this is definitely one of those like specific ones. It has a specific art style. I don't know if it's like because it's a European, like I believe the people who made it are from Germany. And so it has that type of like drawn style, but they've warped it to make people look like they're moving, like their faces are moving or their mouth is moving and stuff like that. But no, it is it's weird. It's very weird. You're trying to figure out what happened to Adam's sister. And so you are a supernatural detective with a raven pet, which is probably one of the weirder things about the game. But yeah, no.
Did you play 12 minutes?
I did not, but I watched someone play it through fully.
I just didn't know if it was similar in terms of the point and click style.
So not particular. Have you ever seen like those types of games on like the App Store where it's just like you find a room and you have to like find specific items in said room?
Yes.
So it's kind of like that. But there's also other elements as well.
Okay.
And you're trying to put pieces together. If anything, I'd probably, goodness, I'm trying to think of another point and click adventure that might be the same. And I'll probably remember it later on. But no, it has a specific style to it. If you saw like a trailer for it, it would make sense.
Okay.
But some of the movement's a little bit weird. His shoulders are like up too high as he runs, and so he's just like this. Once again, I don't know why. The animation style seems to really enjoy the shoulders up every single time. I believe that this isn't even the first time we've had a conversation about this on this podcast.
Nope, probably not.
About video games where your arms are just like up too high.
It's like this is how people move.
Yeah, no, but I'm interested. There's demons and fire and death and a lot of guns for some reason that I was not expecting. But yeah, I played that and Darksiders Genesis yesterday. I played the first level. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm the swordsman, which honestly, that's
Are you
my
playing
jam
actually
anyway.
co-op or are you
Co-op?
Okay, because I did a solo where you can swap. So I was sure.
Yeah, we're playing online co-op, but probably at some point probably going to try the local co-op just to see how it's like. But it's been a lot of fun. Mind you, I keep on falling off the edge and dying, which is you know what? I accept it. As the swordsman, I like run off the edge. I tried to like get specific items, fall off the edge, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna jump, grab the item as I proceed to fall and die. So why not? So it's been, yeah. I agree with Jake. I would definitely recommend Darksiders.
Sweet.
And if you want to try something a little bit more chill, but also once again a little stressful, Adam Wolf is a really good choice as well. Yeah. Also, he looks like the lead singer of All American Rejects.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. We found the inspiration.
I understand that this is a podcast. This isn't totally relevant, but I have a really funny All American Rejects story. I went and saw them in concert, and before them was a Christian band, Reliant K. And in this small
You sound like
town,
that's an abnormal thing.
yes. In this
I've
small
been to
town, a
Bamboozle
lot
where
of
both of
families
them
showed
were.
up thinking this is like a really safe and friendly show. Reliant K played, they left, and then All American Rejects got out there, and the lead singer was already just obliterated, just hammered drunk.
I'm not shocked.
And he grabbed his bass and put it between his legs, and he's like, "I'm gonna seduce everyone in the crowd with my sex vibes." And I've never seen so many kids getting drug out by their mothers at a concert. Just wrists, kids crying and screaming because they just want to see All American Rejects, and moms being like, "Absolutely not."
Oh my god. I mean, one of their most famous songs is "I'll Keep You," like "Dirty Little Secret."
I'll keep you my dirty little secret.
Dirty little secret.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
I mean, I used to go to Bamboozle, and they like Reliant K would play on one stage. They would put like,
that is a little bit weird to have
like a
Reliant
Warped Tour
K,
kind of thing.
and then they have.
Yeah, I mean, Reliant K played a lot of the Christian festivals too. I know there's one in South Jersey that my friend used to go to because his parents were like hardcore Christian.
Yeah.
To the point we had to lie about Silverstein being a Christian, not like, oh, Silverstein's a Christian band, and which is a Canadian band actually.
Yes.
And he had to lie about that. Well, granted, they're like a very tame band. I don't have to like talking about.
Oh, did you thought I said Christian? I said Canadian. That distinction was amazing.
But
Yes.
but yeah, so like that kind of stuff. But yeah, I used to go see them and like Family Force 5 and all that kind of stuff. So
Nice.
Family Force 5. What a time to be alive. I've
There's
seen
a
them
few-
so many times.
I'm blanking on some
They're
of the other ones, but
still a fun show though. Those guys are incredible. Awesome. Well, moving on, we have so many new games to talk about, and Jake, you put so many links.
We're just gonna bang through them. I left the links in case we want to talk about like any of them specifically.
Exactly. I think what I'll do is I'll just roll through the list really quick, and then if there's anything you want to highlight, I can pull up the link and we can share it that way.
Yeah.
So new games coming to the old Stadia summer.
Or already out because this was made like a month ago. I mean,
it's fine. I don't need to talk about it. Dynasty Warriors 9 came out February 15th. Troll Hunters, Defenders of Arcana, and Fast and the Furious are coming to Stadia out now. MotoGP 21, February 1st, so it's out now. Elemental Wars 2
is coming out this year. That's one that I may want to come back and talk about. But
Oddballers this month as well,
which is actually a Ubisoft game because Ubisoft bought the game from the developer. So.
Nice. Dawn of Monsters, which we already talked about. You can go play that for free. Lumote, Lake, and Calico. Any of these jumping out that you want to pull up? I guess let's start with Elemental.
Calico for...
And no, we gotta save the best for last for a few.
You're just smiling right now. Like, what's your Calico?
Let's jump into Elemental War 2 coming.
This game looks cool. That's what I want to talk about. It's like this is the one that I don't think none of us expected because we didn't get one, but it looks like a pretty cool game. So
I'll rock the trailer here while we talk about it. Developers Clockwork Origins have confirmed as part of a progress report blog for upcoming titles that Eternal Element War 2 is scheduled to arrive on Stadia and other platforms this year. Elemental War 2 is defined as the complete tower defense experience that aims to take you into a threatened world filled with hordes of monsters summoned from a faulty portal to hell.
See, I like tower defense games. So
I'm taking the art side here. I'll make it a little bit bigger.
I still need to go back and actually. I played a bit of Orcs Must Die 3, and I wanted to try the co-op and never went back to it, but I really want to go back to that too. But this looks cool. I like the theme of it, like the little like fantasy vibe.
Yeah.
A bit more than like Orcs Must Die. It looks higher res and more of like a true on tower defense than it is than.
And you can shoot down dinos.
Yeah, dinosaurs. Yeah, exactly. Like, it looked pretty cool. So. Want to highlight
After Horizon, I'm all about hunting those dinos. Although in Horizon, I call them Robinosauruses. And then is this Plants vs. Zombies? You got some walking plants here and some trolls. Yeah, this looks cool.
Yeah, that's interesting. So that was like that was like the theme for it. Fee, is there anything you want to talk about?
Oh, Well, I mean, Lake was I've played the
I know Lake and Calc are older games, but
yeah.
well, they're old games. But.
Do you want me to pull up Lake or do you want me to pull up Calico?
That's a terror. I have to choose
both?
between the two.
I can
Why
pull
not both? Why not
Okay.
both?
Let's start with Lake.
Yeah, Lake. I did the playtest. I was a part of the playtest for Lake. I really enjoyed it. When I did play it. I do plan on going back and hopping into this game. It is a really nice game. You are playing as a journalist who lives in a big city and gets called in to actually work at her dad's job for a week. It was 2 weeks. And so she goes back into town and essentially covers his shifts while his her mom and her dad go on vacation. And so you just get to like drive around a really pretty scenic town for 2 weeks and build relationships with new people and old people. That you may
cat mailbox.
I like this.
Yeah.
I like the art style.
The art style is really great. The narration is also really well done. And just it does give you quite a few options. And you also have romance options as well. I'm not going to tell you who you can romance in this game, but
that big lumberjack.
I was gonna say my first guess is the lumberjack.
I mean, he is one of them, yes. But no, it's a really lovely game. And we did confirm because some people decided to tell me I had to drive into the lake to test it out. You can drive into the lake. Do not drive into the lake because it will glitch out the game.
What?
And it will reset for you.
Weren't you part of the playtest group for this?
Yes. I I played it like I signed up on Steam and did it that way. But I had a lot of fun. And it when I played it, I really enjoyed it. I keep on wanting to play it like in an afternoon where I don't have to like have anything else I need to do, you know what I mean? To just sit down and be able to relax. Yeah, like that, just because I want to be able to kind of experience it and just have like a chill day doing that. So in the future, I'm going to just plan out a day where I'm just going to be like, it's going to be lake day. And people are going to be like, oh, are you going to a lake? And I'm like, sort of. And I just sit at my computer and just play it. So I really recommend it if you want something very chill, but also very story based and also kind of makes you feel like you're a little bit in a Hallmark movie type of. Yeah, the best way to put it, it's like a Hallmark movie. Or it's just like, will she end up going back to the big city or will she stay back and live out her life in her hometown with her new love interest? Who knows? So no, would highly recommend it.
Here's
the
a
next one. What's
fun
up?
fact is that I used to work for a literary manager while I was writing screenplays, and I actually pitched a Hallmark movie.
Whoa!
Cool.
Did it become a movie?
No, but it was fun. And I literally just took every Hallmark movie and then put my own spin to it.
Cool.
It's good times.
It's very, very random. Real quick side story. I listened to the McElroy's podcast, my brother, and me, and especially around Christmas time, they do a whole like thing where they take two actual movies and one like Lifetime movies and one made up one by his wife, and he reads the description for all three of the movies, and they have to figure out which ones are real and which ones are fake. And it's a great thing because like it's just how ridiculous and how like formulaic all the plot lines are.
Yeah. As someone who
big city person goes to small town and finds love interest and just
kind of like they're very easy to write and pitch.
Oh no, for sure. And then there's also
random aside.
Well, yes, there's an entire Netflix Christmas like MCU. There's like an entire like universe where there's like all of them are connected. Some of them are related because they're either mentioned, some of the characters are in it, or they're seen in like different media and stuff like that. It is nuts. There's an entire graph. I watched all of them during Christmas. It was bananas.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Mine was a slight twist because the big time city girl and the small town boy actually get trapped in a small airport together over Christmas.
Oh,
isn't that just like Terminal? But like,
but Hallmark.
But Hallmark, okay.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know what you were trying to prove by that, but yes.
Wouldn't it be funny
Val.
if they actually became like that became a movie and you just didn't know about it because
Because I don't watch enough Hallmark
There's
movies.
so many.
They're like, sorry, we can't do that. And then the guy's just like, all right, and this
Oh my God.
down. I did
There's
knock this out.
literally a article that's 9 of the best Christmas movies filmed at airports.
Damn.
Aaron.
Should have done my research. Well, moving on.
Moving on.
The other new game you wanted to talk about was Calico. It's fine. In Calico, your only limitation is your imagination, and no one at Hallmark will steal it from you.
of the pets.
Build the cat cafe of your
Repetitive.
dreams while uncovering magical potions and collecting cuddly animals from their nearby village. This is
Also a very good board game.
Yeah.
Not related to this game, but it's a game called. There's a board game called Calico, which is very good.
If you want to talk to us,
I want this game. Not only is the music awesome, like it's very calming, the art style also is very pastel and cute, but you get to ride around on a cat. You get to ride around on a polar bear. You get to look at the polar bears. You're just collecting little polar bear cubs.
Wait, you can have a cat cafe with polar bears in it?
I don't know what's going on there. I haven't
Oh
watched this fully.
my goodness. That's a
But, like,
gigantic cat. Is it a Maine
There's a
Coon?
dog.
Look at that dog playing like a cat. That is
A
a
red
red
panda?
panda.
Wait, we can write it. Oh my goodness. That's the ultimate game. This is the ultimate
Yes,
game. This begin to end all
exactly.
games. Wait,
So
she has a
I'm-
cat tail. Is she a
Yeah,
cat?
why not? Why not?
She has bunny ears.
You're the only limit is
That
your
cat has a
imagination.
hat on.
Yeah, why not?
Is
That's
it-
a wild
wait,
boar.
Wait, Fiona, did you say your imagination? Your imagination?
No, I did not say that.
Your imagination.
Your imagination.
That's a
n-
really missed. That's a huge miss by the marketing team. Let's be honest.
yeah, honestly. But no, it looks like once again, a really peaceful, calm, like indie game, and I really want to play it. I haven't played this one yet.
Look at the
and-
tiny cat people walking around.
Okay, now I'm really confused, and I feel like this is
Wait, why would
just-
the cat be in the water?
some cats like water.
Not
But-
many, though.
What
What
is
is he
going
doing?
on with the cartwheel cats and the elephant hat?
Why not? Once again, your only limit is your imagination.
Yeah, imagination. TM.
Why don't
Oh.
shake the cat? What is this? What is going on?
Well,
Wait,
that
Cat
one
Amari,
rolling
you can't-
around. They made
Cat
it all fat.
Amari?
Now it's a balancing ball.
Cat Amari?
Oh my god. She's wearing literally a polar bear on their head.
This game is becoming a catastrophe.
And now
That's
it's
a
just keep
game.
these- And now it's
Aaron,
just
that's
keep
already a
these
game.
delivery service.
Sorry,
Oh my
this
god, it's a
tra-
tuxedo
They're wearing
cat.
ties.
It's a tuxedo cat. It's a plant tuxedos.
Oh,
Okay, I'm excited for that too.
Oh my god. Yes. So I'm very excited for that game. I'm really happy to see more indie games on Stadia's platform. That is
and that's just listed for this month, right? We don't know when it's coming.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I have a date on that.
No, because I know that's something that I was talking about when we were talking about like the end of year and what we were wanting to see with Stadia this year. And that was one of my things was I want to see more indies. So I'm really excited to, and hopefully we see more, especially in the upcoming year. Someone will imagine a devil cat.
Or something worse, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
So Aaron, the next two we don't really need to like bring up articles where we can just talk about them real quick.
Yeah.
For the rumors?
Yeah, rumors.
That's cool.
Sorry-
I
sorry to
didn't
kill your
pull up the
segues, but-
links already.
Um,
All right, welcome to the rumor mill roundup. I got all tongue tied.
So,
wow.
Dying Light 2.
Yeah.
That obviously it didn't happen. It's probably not going to happen, but that was something that evidence that was possibly at least planning on
Yeah.
coming to Stadia. I guess if you have the one up still, you can pull that one if you want to, but
Nah, I
that's,
already
one,
closed them.
that's fine. Yeah, so that's just what I wanted to bring up because like that's like, hey, hopefully maybe fingers crossed we'll get it, but probably don't hold your breath. The next one I tweeted about this one because I want the other game in this series, but House of the Dead is I'm pretty sure it was ESRB rated, so it's gonna come. If that's the
Yeah.
case, which is pretty awesome. That's a popular series. I just want Typing of the Dead, especially with all the typing games we have on Stadia with Nanotail typing, and then what's the one Epistory type? What's the one that you were playing, Fiona?
I was playing Epistory. the
Epistory. There's
typing
also
one.
there's another one that's like an RPG. That's a typing game too. So we already have 2 typing games on Stadia. Let's get the ultimate typing game, Typing of the Dead. Like, come on. So
There you
it's a
go.
great game. It's really fun. I played that at MagFest on Dreamcast, and that's really
Typing
fun.
of the Dead.
MagFest is a big convention down in DC that everyone just got COVID this year of because it's during Omicron, and they still held it in January, beginning of January, like the weekend after New Year's. Like right after everyone sees their family and friends and holidays, and all gets COVID, and then they bring it to this big hotel, beautiful hotel. And yeah, actually, I got the flu there one year, which was great. So
Really selling this place.
yeah, it's a really fun convention, except for like you need to like wear a mask and like sanitize constantly. A little bit better before COVID, obviously, but yeah. But it's a really cool festival. It's open 24 hours. They have a full arcade in one of the halls. They have PCs where you can play games. They have board games. They have it's the arcade and a whole free play area of games. So they have a whole catalog of like just you can just go up to them and say, "Hey, I want this game." They'll go grab it for you. Go find the console, pop it in, and play it. They have like a bunch of old consoles too, like in televisions and stuff like that too. It's really cool. It's really cool festival. It also has live music too.
So you just have to risk COVID or the flu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't the flu. It was like 24-hour stomach bug, but it was like I got it like the day we were like as we were packing up my friend's booth, and leaving. So I also was when driving home, and I made it about an hour and a half to get gas, and then I ended up throwing up while a homeless man was asking me for money. And then he drove the rest of the way home. So, but yeah, very fun time. Anywho,
Anyways. Go check that.
Go check out those games. Really, House of Dead's a cool series. It's a remake coming, not just House of Dead. House of Dead remake. It's not. It's a new game. It hasn't been. So it's not like a. Yeah. So really cool. So
nice. Moving on to some new content. Fiona, here's your first headline of the day that I know you'll just absolutely love. DLC, more like dumb lame content. More DLC that's not coming to Stadia. I workshopped that one with Porter before the show. Anyways, Stadia won't receive Humankind DLC ... for the moment. This, of course, comes from our good friends over at Stadia Source. Today, information was shared on Humankind. The Stadia version of the title will not receive the DLC that its console counterparts will be receiving, at least not at the moment. The quote here just says, next update, as we mentioned to you, will be at the end of April and will contain it's fine. And Alan Newell, the current one, hot fixes regarding the DLC. It won't arrive at Stadia for the moment. I know this is an unpleasant news, but we would prefer to be completely honest and transparent with you. So Humankind DLC, no love for Stadia.
yeah. Which is another story of it's their whole like banking a bunch of DLC or updates or whatever it is and waiting to get into Stadia. It's just another type of alienation. But what are you gonna do? It kind of stinks because that's a game that like was like betaed on Stadia. Like you guys like first it's just that's kind of disappointing, especially because that relationship they had early on. But must not be enough people playing on Stadia, unfortunately. So sadness.
Yeah.
For good things about Humankind. I've never played. I played it, but I feel like I was talking about my friends were talking about the other day. Well, they were streaming a game that Putin should play like a Civ game, so he understands that like starting war in modern era doesn't usually end very well. So he should probably play some Civ games before he starts invading countries. That's my take on that.
I love it.
So
next up, we also have Darkside Detective detecting your hands with touch controls. Shortened to the point. The confusion on Fiona's face was way more important than the pun itself. I wrote this one and I was like, oh, I can't wait to see whatever reaction this one gets. Darkside Detective is getting touch controls. So if you don't want to hook up a controller, you can now play that game on your phone just using the
And
touch
that-
controller.
And that's a game that makes sense with touch controls.
Yes,
it's
100%.
like there's certain games that just make sense. I'm glad they're trying to like
Sure.
focus more on those. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and the
Start
direct touch
moving
seems
more
easy.
into that
So.
mobile space, I think, is probably going to be really crucial for them as they move forward. So it's
Yeah,
exciting to
absolutely.
see.
And the direct touch seems really cool for like that. For it seems like it's done really well in the game so far. I really need to try more of them, but yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that they're doing a really good job of is removing friction and letting people try their games. Try it before you buy it. Yeah, that was the perfect segue. Come on.
Pretty good.
Nailed it. Rainbow Six Extraction, you can now go check out for a 2-hour trial, which makes Fiona very upset. And there's also the chorus demo.
Corvus.
yeah,
It says
talk to
chorus,
me.
but I like to say Corvus.
I know. And then here's the thing.
I'm going to constantly spell with a V. Hey, the marketing
Jake.
team made a choice. The
Jake.
marketing team made a choice.
Jake, here's the choice I made. I said I can either say Corvus and he'll correct me and say it's actually chorus, or I'll read it correctly and say chorus.
No, I wouldn't correct you if you said
And he'll
Corvus.
tease me and say Corvus. Catch 22, man.
I would have made fun of you for calling it Corvus.
Okay,
But no,
chorus.
it is actually chorus. I know. I understand that.
I
It's like
know.
it's old. The V used to be W, and
So Corvus has a demo, and then the Rainbow Six Extraction does have a 2-hour trial. Fiona, tell me your feelings
about
the group.
Resident. It's Resident Evil, right? It's Extraction or Rainbow Six Extraction.
Rainbow Six Extraction.
I mean, no,
So,
yeah.
yeah. Well, I played the 2 hours. The first hour ran like a dream. I streamed this on Twitch. It ran really well. And then I tabbed out for a moment and tabbed back in again. And for the rest of the hour, it did not run well. It was laggy. It was glitchy. I had to restart it probably 3 different times with different browsers, and it just wasn't working. It just did not want to cooperate. The graphics at the beginning were running really well, like honestly, and then it just went really downhill and south. I wasn't able to shoot certain times. I got one of my characters essentially when, for people who aren't familiar with the game, if one of your characters goes down completely, rather than dying and losing out on the said character, your character gets foamed, and then you have to go back to that particular area again to be able to extract your character from said level. And it was not good. I'm not gonna lie, it was not a good experience for me. I did end up going back and playing it on Game Pass instead, because I wanted to be able to play it a little bit more, because Lucas plays it quite often. He was playing it quite often. But no, it was not a good experience overall. So I was not particularly happy, especially when it was just like, rate your like experience with Stadia during this gameplay, and I'm like, mega thumbs, like sad face, like super sad face. So no, I hope everyone else who does play it has a much better experience than I did. Please do not tab out during your demo time, because it seems to cause issues when you want to take those opportunities. At least that's what happened to me.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge bummer. How was your, if you don't mind me asking, how was your experience on Game Pass?
Brilliant. I had no issues the entire time. Mind you, I do have a relatively good gaming computer, and so I don't usually run into issues with Game Pass, but
Right.
no,
did
it
you
was
have it downloaded or
yeah, I did download
okay,
it.
then you're playing okay, because
Yeah, I wasn't
with Game Pass Ultimate you can stream as well, which is how I haven't played that game yet, but
Rolling out PC streaming.
That's how-
it's not for everything yet.
Yeah, well, yeah, I've been playing some games. All the games I've been playing on xCloud, I've been through streaming. So even like I played Halo Infinite through xCloud, and it ran fairly really well. So I've been impressed. I'm impressed by how xCloud's been doing in terms of latency. So yeah.
I also streamed Infinite on my phone and was very, very impressed with how well that ran. So they're definitely catching up in terms of technology, which is cool. I mean, competition breeds evolution. So
I am possibly looking at getting a new laptop finally, though, because I'm going to try to fix my PC, and if it doesn't work, because my graphics card is my graphics card is a 960, so old graphics card anyway. So I may just get like a like Asus Everest, like the old last year's model on discount or something like that, and have that be like my all-around thing for my wife and I to share. So we have like something that's decent. I just play games pretty well, and it's a good laptop too, like for like productivity. So
Love it.
we'll see.
Speaking of Halo Infinite, next one, Phil will be super happy about. Sony earning their Halo and buys Bungie.
So
even though they don't get Halo, I understand.
Yeah,
It's
the reason I added this to the doc is I'm going to write to the doc is why this affects Stadia or could possibly is because one of the big games on Stadia is Destiny 2. And from what they've said so far is that they don't have any plans on at least for Destiny 2. It's going to stay everywhere. They want it to be everywhere. It sounds like most other games are going to be everywhere too.
Yeah.
So that still means, I mean, Destiny, the Bungie team was loving Stadia for developing during COVID. I know they were one of the ones that came out and said like, no, it's been great being able to just work in the cloud, and that's a big part of the enterprise stuff, the white labeling too for developing in the cloud. So I think they have a good enough relationship where it won't be an issue. But
okay, this is important. Everybody, grab your tinfoil hat. Let's just put it on right here. Thank you. Love it. Yours actually kind of looks like tinfoil anyways, Jake. I love it. This is important because if they start working with Bungie and they get a little bit more hands-on with what Stadia looks like and what they're really doing with Destiny, could they not seek them out to white label this service to start building out their own Game Pass through PS Now, especially with Project Spartacus now coming out and them naming their 3 tiers?
So with that, one, Sony has an agreement already with Azure to use their servers for PS Now. 2, Sony spent a lot of money on Gaikai. I don't see them unless they're having that rough of a time getting it to run smoothly. I can't see them essentially like burning that money because they also spun Gaikai into PS View, which I loved. PS View, it was probably my favorite of the streaming like TV platforms, and they canceled that too because that got too competitive. So like they're not even making money on that end too. Like, so I can't see that happening. As much as I love the idea of that happening because Stadia's tech is awesome and PS Now is okay, serviceable,
right?
Like,
but at what point are you okay burning that little bit of cash to stay competitive with Microsoft?
That's where I wonder. I don't know how bad. I haven't used PS Now in a while. I'm not sure. Have either of you guys used PS Now?
No.
Fiona?
I think I used I did one of the trials that
they
offered.
You do the trial. You can like probably sign up for like a month for one.
Last time I tried PS Now was at the final PSX in California in 2017.
So yeah, no, they've re-upped it. So like, if you already had a sub before, you can do like a month for free. At least that's what they did for a while. I haven't tried since they did the whole like adding the PS4 like God of War, Horizon, all those games. I tried before that even like around time Stadia was released, or like when actually no, it was actually when Project Stream was a thing. I tried PS Now.
Okay,
so that was been a while.
I'm just saying that is their one missing piece, and if they can figure out how to do that to compete with Microsoft, this could be a good at least foot in the door. I would say.
Yeah.
So,
no, it'd be cool to use that backbone. I mean, I'm not sure if they can still use Gaikai. It's like, I guess any tech that they've developed to make the latency even better. On like kind of like Orion, like because I was like Bethesda. Well, speaking of Bethesda too, they had Orion, which was like supposed to be like a layer to use in the cloud to make latency better. Like kind of something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. Just wild.
The arms race
from a non-Stadia standpoint to see PlayStation or Sony buy really the studio that put Microsoft on the map for Xbox.
You know, I don't think I even put it on here because I kind of forgot. Did we talk about Activision being bought? I don't think we did.
We talked about it on the last episode.
Did we? Okay, I can't
remember how old that news is.
Remember when that happened? And like,
yeah,
it's okay. I wasn't sure we talked about that. I thought so.
Yeah.
Okay, no, you're right. Okay, because this is the news. Okay.
Yeah. We've already sprinted through that news, just like we're going to do our new segment, Stadia Sprint.
Because we are 54 minutes into this episode. We have like 45 minutes of content to talk about, probably, without how we talk. So people that are still here, thank you.
The first story it's such old news. I don't know if we need to spend that much time on it anymore. We've had lots of private conversations, obviously, about it. But the very first one is that obviously elephant in the room, the Business Insider article that basically came out to say that Stadia is looking to white label their service more. It's a great segue from the Sony conversation. Talking about that they want to white label their service more. There were quotes saying that they only want to put about 20% of their resources into continuing the consumer side of Stadia, and really what the future of that looks like. It sounds like they really are wanting to take this tech that they have, I won't quite say perfected, but really nailed, and start getting it on other services, starting with the AT&T Batman thing that we saw last year. And it was disheartening, to say the least, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way around it. To hear that they really want to shift their resources of what this platform is and what it looks like to them and how it brings money for Google versus what they originally pitched it as was a huge bummer. Again, this is super old news. We don't need to spend a ton of time on it.
Yeah.
Let's start with you, Jake. What are your quick thoughts on that?
Well, I want to say before, like, people in the comments are like, "Oh, well, this article is all old news. We knew this last year when SG&E closed." Like, I think the article came out on like the 3rd or the 4th, and the 4th actually, and SG&E had closed like on the 1st of February.
Right. So it was almost exactly an anniversary. We can actually just combine the next headline and just talk about them together.
Which is that. Again, these are all, the whole rest of the articles are kind of just talking points for us to like grab from. But yeah, SG&E closed a year ago, and so it's kind of like we got a lot of that then. But it's the extra, like, on top of that stuff, which is, I think, the stuff that a lot of people are I focused on is, again, the 20% of it. Phil Harrison apparently now reporting to
his job
devices instead of the developer of devices and services. It's no longer there. It's now subscriptions. He's underneath. Like, there's certain other things that they announced. Oh, we're getting 100 games this year. And like, that's awesome. We're getting more games. That's fine. But we're not seeing any growth in that number. Every year, at the beginning of the year, it's, oh, we're getting 100 games this year. Oh, we're getting 100 games this year. We have 100 games in the pipeline. Plus, it was always a plus, but we're not seeing any growth. And that's fine. Like, that we're getting games, but and that's awesome. We're getting games. But if you look at like Switch, which granted gets a lot of shovelware too, within the first month of January, they probably got 100 games. So like, saying 100 games is awesome, but like, it's not really the great scheme of things. We're not seeing any growth in that factor. So it's stagnating. That's to me, it's showing stagnation and complacency with Stadia.
Yeah, it shows that they're not really putting their best foot forward, and
which may be better for the business. I mean, it may be better for the business, for Google, but
but they're not really wanting to combat any of the stuff that people like, the naysayers and things like that. They're not really doing anything to prove otherwise that those doubts are well founded. Fee, what about you?
I will admit, and I know we had a conversation at length with this, just reading over the entire article and just seeing the way that the amount of, like, the best way to put it is the lack of information that we have been receiving. And I know we've talked about that at length as well, but just like the kind of the blowout of that particular article that came out, and just seeing the people's reactions. I know, at least for myself and for you guys, we're a part of a community where people are like, haha, look at this, like, we knew Stadia wasn't going to make it, like, this is obviously the death of Stadia. And the amount
it's not dead already, like,
right. And it's just like stuff like that, and it's just like, okay, I remember, like, I just closed Twitter and Facebook for the day, and I'm like, I'm not dealing with this.
Same. Jeez.
And it was just
like every everyone came out of the woodwork to rip on it. So
and it's not even like this, like, and even like people that just never talk about Stadia whatsoever decided to come out and say some really negative things. And mind you, like, I know all three of us have been feeling kind of a little bit of the like I guess like I would not even burnout. It's just a matter of just like the lack of
Do we want to
things.
keep supporting this?
Yeah, exactly. And
totally.
it's definitely been something that has been up for review because of those particular problems. And then seeing that, it's just kind of like a, well, should we? Because it just seems like, at least from that particular point in time, obviously, we are now a few weeks after said article, and we've received more information. But
Yeah.
it irked me a lot.
Yeah.
It's hard not to feel disheartened, right? And to the point of one of the things that was said, being incredibly candid for those listening, like these are the conversations the three of us had in private. But one of the things that was tossed around was like, why would we want to promote something that doesn't feel like it wants to promote itself? And that's a hard place to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
And yeah, we, this show is almost 2 years old, and we've taken a lot of shit as people who still really enjoy Stadia and want to like support it and want to like believe in this new platform and where gaming is truly headed, which is cloud gaming. Whether you like it or not, that's where this industry is
Microsoft,
headed.
Luna, they're all proving that it's the future. Yeah.
Yes.
Just with like, again, like one of the articles, I'm just gonna mention it, just talk about it, is like Twitch adds a button to play on Luna, like that was something that Stadia talked about since the beginning, since 3 years ago when it was like announced,
and it's still not on
YouTube.
YouTube.
3 years ago, it's still not. No, it's on YouTube. I mean, but it's not like you just click and play. Like you have to add the link to the description, and like it's so much extra legwork. Like if you just recognize you're playing on Stadia and just do it, like just do it.
And
like,
yes, they come out with another part of our Stadia Power Hour here, or the Stadia Sprint. If you hear one thing, they tweeted this out shortly after that article,
which is the first time you've actually got a response from them reacting to something.
For them actually reacting to what the audience was saying, which, better or worse, at least they responded. Like after a couple of years of nothing. But they said, if you hear one thing, hear this. The Stadia team is working really hard on a great future for Stadia and cloud gaming. We hope you agree, and we know the proof is in the playing. We're particularly proud to be offering 50 games to pro members in February, with more than 100 titles to join Stadia in 2022, and plenty of free play days for everyone to enjoy. There's also more feature goodness coming to Stadia 2, stuff we can't talk about just yet, but we promise to share when we can. Have a great weekend, Stadians. This is a very carefully worded response. Mostly in that first sentence is where I get a little bit tripped up. If you hear one thing, hear this. The Stadia team is working really hard on a great future for Stadia and cloud gaming.
Because which the thing is,
the white labeling, like they're still like kind of doubling down on it. We hope you agree, and we know the proof is in the playing. Yes, they're talking about adding more games, which is great.
And the 50, I mean, that's a big amount of games for like PlayStation Now, like the PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Plus, like that sub, you get 3 games a month, but like it is not, and doesn't care. Like if you're a new sub, you still have like the last of the years worth of games you can sub to. Right. So like if you sign up now, there's 50 games you can add. It's supposed to be like 4 games, and that you build up over time. So they keep that catalog longer, which is still impressive in its own. Like kind of in between PlayStation Plus and like Netflix, honestly.
Yeah, and
it's
I don't mean to disagree,
games,
but like
it's not,
when you compare it to something like Game Pass, where if I give you $10 right now, your entire Game Pass library is just open to me.
Oh, exactly. I mean, I mean, if you're trying to just stream like me, where I can't play a lot of games on my PC, a little bit narrower, but you're right. Like any of the Xbox, most of the Xbox One games, like Xbox exclusive games, are on Game Pass through cloud.
Yeah. So. And I agree, there are still some limitations within Game Pass, like having to download on your PC, and you do have that kind of stuff that you have to combat. But man, the amount of progress that has made since it launched versus Stadia is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
The big thing for them right now is getting it on a TV cheaply. Like cheap. Because it's not integrated like with Android TV or Roku, and the only way you play on a TV is if you have a $200 device. Right. So like
that will become their game changer once they kind of figure out
exactly.
That barrier,
so
for sure.
That's besides the point.
And that's when I say game changer, like, geez, can you imagine the name recognition of Xbox if you don't have to own the box and you can stream it directly to your TV, like that will be a nail in a coffin.
And I've been saying since they announced xCloud that they've given me zero reason to buy the next box.
And they don't care about their box.
Exactly, and which is obviously they don't. But like they've literally given me no reason to buy it because I don't have to, because I can just play on my phone or my computer, wherever it is. Like I don't need to. I play a lot on my phone. I've been playing Death's Door on my phone. So
yeah. Make sure I didn't.
Fiona, you got anything you want to?
Any other thoughts on that? Sigh, though.
Yeah, no, I am trying my best to be hopeful, and I think that their Twitter, like the tweet that they posted that we just specifically talked about, is super manufactured and doesn't seem. It just seems as though there's like a few people sitting at a table rather than just people trying to think like, how can we word this the best way possible, and how can we just like avoid any sort of issues. Stadia, you need to be thinking about ways to really improve, because the way that it's going right now, and the way that like the second that Xbox or PlayStation or whichever it might be really like steps it up when it comes to cloud gaming, it's going to be a very dangerous game for Stadia.
What's wild is, if anything, I just want to step up in their marketing.
Yeah,
just their messaging.
Like I even said during Game Awards, like all they needed was an ad they already made, probably around on YouTube. But like, just take that 1 minute ad. I think it was a minute at most, and just throw it into pay the $1 million which is nothing to you, or it is probably less than that, probably way less than that.
Yeah.
To pay for the ad for that spot, and just have that there to remind everyone, hey, you're here and you can try this literally for nothing.
Yeah.
You can play Control for 2 hours, whatever it was, right now, and try this platform. And the funny thing is, actually listening to a review of the laptop I want to possibly buy. But actually, no, it was actually on the Steam Deck. It was I was listening to the Verge cast, and I was talking about the Steam Deck. And it's like because of the anti-cheat that a lot of games use, and Destiny is one of them. He plays Destiny on his Steam Deck specifically through Stadia, because it does the anti-cheat. It gets around the anti-cheat issues it has on Steam Deck. So like, people are still using Stadia, like they to a degree, like in that, like that's like random hearing that, but like just remind people that it exists and that you can try this tech with some really cool games for free.
And just talk about the things you're doing, even if they're small. Like one of the other items on this topic is that they're expanding to new countries, ideally, but they have filed to like be in Australia and Brazil. And
from
like
big markets,
when those come through, talk about the fact that it passed and you're excited to expand further and get those markets excited about what you're doing. In 2014, I was fortunate enough to go to Brazil for the World Cup, and when they would talk about like,
very jealous. First of all,
what's up?
Very jealous. First of all,
thank you. It was
big soccer fan, so
lots of fun, so much fun. Other than watching Germany beat the U.S. on a beach with a whole bunch of Germans who just decided to rub it in my face. It's fine. Anyways, constantly when I was talking to Brazilians, they would talk about how like they don't always have the newest console and things like that because of the literal taxes they have to pay. Like a $400 console to them gets to about $900 very quickly just because of import tax and things like that. And to go buy Chromecast and be able to play Stadia in their market would be a literal game changer for them. So talk to these markets, talk to them and get excited.
And to that point, they made FIFA on PS2 to like 2014 or 15 because, and granted, PS3 came out in like 2008.
Yeah.
So I think it's 2008 or 2006, maybe even earlier than that. I think it's 2006 or 2008. I can't remember. But they literally, that's how bad the taxes were. They made that game because it sells. It's sold just for South America, mainly Brazil.
Yes.
Because the taxes are ridiculous.
Yeah. So I don't know. I wish they would at least talk about any of their wins. Like start celebrating your small wins and build up, right? Because right now, the only news that ever comes out are huge losses. And then we have one tweet for damage control versus if you would just celebrate your little wins, If you had something that your fan base could even point at. So when these big deals come out and you can say, well, no, they're doing this, and this, it would go so much further. The only people who have that type of knowledge of like, oh no, they're still doing some good things are people like us who are researching it and looking it up for this show and have, people that come and listen to it because they are still so diehard. But even the most casual fan has no idea the good that they're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I don't understand. Like, and I agree. It takes a few minutes to create a tweet that you could post. You guys, you have Google money. You can hire people. You can hire people specifically to post social media posts to get people hyped up for things like some games that might be coming, or like you said, just small victories, or even like larger ones, whatever that might be, rather than just radio silence. Because I'd rather be talking about really positive things happening with Stadia rather than that article and then the multitude of other articles that came out because of said issue. So I would very much appreciate. You know what? I take back everything what I said, what I wanted from like the beginning of the year, and I just want them to hire a social media manager and for them to be active.
They do have a social media manager. Her name's Chaka. I believe her. Pretty sure I'm pronouncing that name right. They hired her. They hired a social media manager like mid last year, and they got more active instead of just being bots constantly responding to things. But even still, like it's not even that. They need someone for like PR that's actually like, or they need to like. It's almost like they need to go even above like that level and get those people on board with like being more open. That's the Google thing. Google is like if they're not talking, then no one then is not a problem. But like they need to get like I was saying multiple times, like when like an issue like this happened, something that's happened with it was like Sony or Xbox, Phil Spencer would be out talking about it, or back when it was like Jack Tretton or like Sean Layton, they'd be out talking on Twitter about it. Like, literally, I mean, you can go look at Phil Harrison's tweets. He hasn't tweeted since April of 2 years ago, so almost 2 Aprils ago, almost. So it's I'll bring it up when the anniversary comes again. Don't worry, it's gonna. I will never let that tweet die
ever.
Yeah, no. Well, I just feel like even outside of the realm of Stadia, there are other like tech, like the Google Pixel series. The amount of times that I see negative posts about the Google Pixel and the Google Pixel, the Google Pixel 6 and the 6 Pro over positive things about said piece of tech, and then other things like the Chromecast and the Home series and the Nest and all these other things. It's just I don't know, like they seem to be really driven for like the first few months for a thing that may have been released like series wise, and then they just kind of like we'll release stuff for it, but we won't really talk about that because we have 15 other things that we want to focus on.
I mean, this is the biggest Pixel so far, 6, like in terms of like numbers and sales and like mind share for sure. But yeah, besides that.
And they had to make a big deal about it though. They made sure articles were going out about like this was going to be a big push to try to get back into the flagship phone game. Yeah. And they did put their biggest marketing resources behind it that they have for a while. After the Pixel 5, people didn't even know if they were going to keep making these.
Yeah. Well, they stopped for a year. And then they made the 6. But no, I don't know. Sometimes I just like look at it and I'm like, can we just get a few extra positive things? Yes, having games released on a regular basis is nice, but doing something a little bit different to like boost morale overall, I think is what they really need to do at this point, is just boost the morale of not only from what I can see their team, but also like just the people who are excited for Stadia. So we can talk about other things rather than this article, because
even from like I think the article, which I'm not sure they say here, like there is like a group that's like that is really like pushing for Stadia inside Stadia, but they're just not getting the resources. Like, so like 20% is focused. Like,
well, they're being drowned out by everything else, which is why, like, I wish that we heard them more often than just all this like negative publicity and articles, because we not only get it from this, but then also the gaming community in general, because people they already have this kind of like stigma towards cloud gaming, because they're like, for some reason it was originally like console versus PC. Now it's just like, do you play with a disc? Do you play by downloading it, or cloud gaming? And now it's like discs and downloads like versus like cloud gaming, which is calm down. Like, it is, you guys believe that you guys are all for different technology and like progression, but then the second something new comes along, you can't handle it. So I'm hoping over the next few like months and we see some more positives, because this was definitely a huge negative.
At the same time, though, I think you bring up a good point. You're like talking about like digital versus, physical versus cloud. It's hard to remind people, like, at the end of the day, just play how you want to play. Go play video games. Like, we're all here for fun. And I think that's been one of the harder parts about being a fan of Stadia, is like just getting crapped on for just enjoying something. I'm like, well, the tech works and I like these games and this is just where I want to play it. So if it dies, it dies.
Yeah, like the few exclusives they have right now, like with Young Souls and Wavetail, are freaking awesome, and I wish they were getting the recognition that they deserve. I wish more people talked about them, and I think in that breath we're talking about Stadia, obviously. Either they didn't send it to enough people, or they even do the bare minimum. Like, again, it's money you're spending, and they tried once and didn't do what they wanted to do with around the time of like when they had the Xavier Woods thing. They put a bunch of money into streamers to play their games and to build about 2 months before this all, like before Stadia closed, or sg&e closed. Sorry, my daughter's like yelling right now after, but which is very random because she should be asleep. But yeah, lost my train of thought because of it. They put a bunch of money. Like, when you have these like exclusives, put some money behind them a little bit, get them streamers playing these games. Like, Wavetail would have been a great streamer game, I think.
Phenomenal!
Make people want to play that game, because it's super beautiful. Maybe not as much Young Souls, but like Wavetail was a very unique, striking game that I thought would push as much for indies. Yeah. So, but that's how it all works. Is word of mouth. Like, that's why Inscription got so big, is because it was all word of mouth. That guy had put out 2 other games that were very well received games, but no one talked about them. Hadn't heard about. I was like, Hex is one of his games, and like Pony Island.
Yeah, it was Pony Island.
And like people, like they're like all these people in the game industry, like talk, like say, oh yeah, I play these games, but like no one really knows about these games. And but the Inscription's massive this year.
Yeah,
it's all people talked about for like a good month was Inscription.
Yeah, so it was the same thing for Loop Hero and the spring.
Right. So it's like when you had a big hit that like the streamer community gets involved in, it goes crazy. So like I think Wavetail would have been a good game. Granted, it's a very short single player game, but it's a beautiful game. So.
Even then, like when I was streaming it, I found myself answering a lot like, I'm playing this on Stadia, because a lot of people are like, where are you playing this game? Like, how do I get access to this game? I'm like, Stadia. You go play it on Stadia. And no, it gets people talking, and I don't understand why, even like you said, getting some streamer, like some of the bigger streamers, and saying like, hey, we have this game available, can you play it and talk about it, whatever that might be. Like, I understand like Twitch has Luna, I get it, but there's other opportunities.
But you see Luna, like, it's kind of funny, streams Luna all the time. They're sponsored by Luna to play the game, play Luna all the time. It gets that's our avenue. Like, it gets frustrating because like Greg is like was friends with some of the guys that started Stadia. I mean, like Jared Petty worked with Stadia. Not completely, but like he did. And even like they had we have cool friends with Jack Buser, and like leverage some of that to get them to actually try it again. Like, because Greg tried it and forgot it. Like, he just said it. Oh, I don't want to play this game on my phone. Whatever. I'm just gonna like. I want to play Darksiders Genesis on his phone. So it's like I want to play the big TV, and then it just didn't work. So I just didn't. I had to all set it all up. It's like I'm just not gonna play it now. But then now I hear like, oh yeah, I'm playing Luna, I'm playing like XCloud, and we're playing my phone on XCloud. I'm like, motherfucker, you said.
Yeah, he wanted a backbone really bad. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. It's like at the time it didn't seem like it was like, oh, it's just a new phone thing. Like your phone screens are about the size of a Switch. Like my phone is like 6-inch screen. This Switch is the base one is like 6.5 inches. It's not much different. And people want to say it's different though.
Yeah,
I don't know. Very frustrating. But yeah, I guess the last thing I had on here is like. They actually are doing another like game dev summit for PC and Stadia. So it means it shows that they are at least investing some resources into it. I know last year they did in the summer, they had their dev thing kind of after IO. And they talked about like pro revenue and stuff like that. And that's what I'm not sure we talked about it in here, but there was also some, the incentive program. Yeah, we didn't talk about it. I may have explained it, which was like, devs talking highly about the incentive program for Pro and the revenue they're making off of it. Acapulco Games said, like, we've launched 2 of our games on Stadia Pro recently, Grime and Darkside Detectives. Despite being polar opposites in terms of content and genre, both performed well in terms of finances and player reception. Stadia Pro seems to be benefit widely variety of titles, regardless of style or replayability. Stadia Pro has consistently exceeded our expectations of both payout and player engagement. We have a passionate community and players for titles. And Outright Games as well has similar verbiage, but they're all like kid all the kid oriented games you see on Stadia. Those are all Outright games. So just like again, just want to bring up like there is some positive going on, but they're not talking about it. This was a blog post that they posted this, and like someone found it and made an article out of it. Like they're not talking about it, they're not promoting it. They're not like, I think it was like the article they had tweeted about it, but the article had been out for like 4 or 5 days before they tweeted about it because they needed something good to talk about after this all happened. The article came out. Like it was just like if you looked at the timestamps for the blog post, it was like at least a week prior. So it's just frustrating. But yeah. So there is apparently the incentive program for Pro is paying out well, but
and this is what I come back to, right? Like, I wish they would just talk more about these wins.
Yeah.
Because
that's what you're both saying.
The negative. So talk about this stuff more. Don't just put it on 9 to 5 Google. Like, get this information out there. Get your Twitter person to actually talk about it. Promote. Engage. Just
like I said, they tweeted this out, but it was like almost a week after the buy date.
Yeah. So, but I digress. Not to end on a bummer note. We'll still be back to talk more things Stadia soon. Hopefully we get to see some more communication. We get to see some more wins, get some more announcements, and see some new games that are coming out. But that does it for the 36th episode of Speaking of Stadia. Can't believe we're here. Fiona, where can the lovely people hang out with you and talk to you and yell at you about Final Fantasy 14?
Absolutely. Y'all can come and yell at me at twitter.com/Zeranix, where I post recently just a bunch of things about pixel art because it's keeping me sane. And something I've been also working on is pixel art stuff. So definitely check me out over there. You can also check me out over on Point in Progress on Fridays, where we just talk about a bunch of gaming news and what we've been watching, reading, listening to, whatever it might be. You can definitely check me out over there. We just released some stuff over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Point in Progress, and some really cool stuff coming in the next few weeks/months. And as well, sometimes I stream over at twitch.tv/Zeranix. I plan on actually streaming a lot more in the next coming weeks because we're going to be doing another game jam, and I'd like to live stream when I'm working on pixel art this time so I can just hang out while I'm working and animating, because it will probably keep me sane and a lot less stress because animation stressful, guys, and I did not know that. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
I absolutely love it. Mr. Porter, other than running our Twitter account at Speak of Stadia, where can the good people find you?
Obviously here at there it is, Too Tall Porter with the O's, zeros. I've also started my own disc golf Instagram account, so you can follow me at Too Tall Disc Golf. I have my first tournament this weekend on Sunday. So I'm going to do terrible. I shot probably played the worst I've ever played this past weekend on the there's two, there's a yellow and orange layout, the same tee pads. There's also a long tee pad too. And it's just the tournament is the short tee pads, and I shot probably the worst I've ever played. So hopefully I got all the bad throws out then, because I played the yellows last time. I felt really good. So hopefully it goes well. My goal is to for the group I'm in the lowest group, difficult like skill level possible, and I'm hoping just to make I have 20 people like 10th would be like perfect, awesome. My main goal is not to take last, but we'll see.
Hey, when I'm out there in 20 days, we can play a round of disc golf, and I'll feel so good about yourself. I haven't played since college. So.
Yeah, I mean, I have a full right here. I mean, I have enough discs for us all to play. I got in my new bag. So
Ooh, I love the new backpack.
Beautiful. So, audio listeners, you're really missing out.
Yeah, you're missing out. All the cool. Yeah, I've been buying discs when I play badly. No, but I'm still trying to get some more discs. Like I got like 2 discs in the same mold, but different plastics, so I can throw like the same disc, but like have a different flight. And
getting all sorts of fancy.
Yeah, I really should maybe go downstairs and practice putting because I have a basket downstairs in my garage. So
nice. And the Too Tall Disc Golf is at zeros as well, just to stay on brand.
No. It's actual Too Tall.
Okay,
but that's on Instagram. So yeah,
okay,
love it. And if you want to hang out with me, I'm on Twitter at my name. It's Aaron Seaney, SEANEY. Lately, it's just been a lot of photo mode pictures.
And also go check out Awesome Averages. Give Me 20 with
If you want to hear some really fun comedy podcasts, Give Me 20 is my other show that I do with Mel Felker. It is exactly 20 minutes sometimes, but we stay within the realm of 20 minutes.
So it's most of the time, like
we're usually pretty.
It's like, oh, it's bye.
Yep. So yeah, come check out Give Me 20. It's always a good time. Otherwise, engage with us on Twitter. Say hi. Speak of Stadia is the page name. Until next time, thanks so much for hanging out and listening. And we will see you all in the cloud or some other clever sign off. Bye.